The evening sky over Florence was painted in shades of gold as the city's rhythm slowed. Laughter and music drifted through the streets, a gentle hum of life. At the heart of it all stood La Bella Luna, a beacon of luxury, where the city's elite came to dine. The air was thick with the scent of fresh bread and Italian herbs, and candlelight danced on every table, casting a warm, romantic spell over the room. A sleek, black luxury car purred to a stop outside. The door swung open, and out stepped Alexander Moretti, a Milanese millionaire whose reputation preceded him. He was tall, exuding an air of unshakable confidence, dressed in a tailored suit that probably cost more than a small car. A rare, limited edition watch glinted on his wrist as he strode towards the entrance, his expensive leather shoes clicking against the marble floor. He was a man accustomed to turning heads, the whispers, the curious stares, the admiring glances. He didn't just tolerate them, he thrived on them. This was the life he had built for himself, a world of wealth, power, and the unshakable belief that he was above it all. Flanked by two business partners chattering loudly about profits and portfolios, he barely registered the waiter holding the glass door open for him. He simply walked in, as if the world itself was designed to bend to his will. Inside, soft piano music filled the air, but a subtle shift occurred as Alexander entered. Recognizable from business magazines, his presence commanded attention. The hostess, though visibly nervous, greeted him with a bright smile. "Good evening, Signor Moretti. Your table is ready." He gave a curt nod, his eyes barely leaving the floor. "I hope so," he said, his tone as dry as the Tuscan hills in summer. "I don't wait." She led his party to a private corner, a perfectly set table waiting for them. "You really know how to pick the fancy places, Alex," one of his friends remarked with a laugh. Alexander smirked. "Of course. I don't settle for average." Their laughter was loud and hollow, filling the space with an air of superiority. When the waiter approached to pour wine, Alexander waved him off impatiently. "Just the red," he commanded, "and make sure it's the vintage I requested. Last time you people served the wrong one." The waiter scurried away, his discomfort palpable. Leaning back, Alexander scrolled through his phone, lost in a world of business messages and expensive cars. The people around him were just scenery. When his friends started discussing a new investment in Rome, his eyes lit up. Money and control. These were the things that animated him. "You see," he declared, his voice dripping with pride. "That's what separates us from everyone else. We make decisions. Others just follow." His friend agreed. "Exactly. The world needs leaders, and we're the ones leading." Alexander raised his glass, savoring the expensive flavor. Yet behind the polished facade, a certain emptiness lingered in his eyes, a weariness that all his success couldn't erase. He was a man who believed wealth made him superior, oblivious to the hard work of those around him who made his luxurious experience possible. Just then the restaurant door opened again. A young woman in a simple black uniform entered from the kitchen, a notepad in her hand. Her brown hair was tied in a neat bun, and her eyes were warm but focused. This was Isabella Rossi, one of the restaurant's best servers, a university student studying languages. Known for her politeness and patience, she treated every guest with the same quiet respect. Her manager approached her. "Isabella, you'll be serving Mr. Moretti's table tonight." She simply smiled and nodded, unaware of the storm brewing in that corner of the restaurant. Taking a deep breath, she walked toward the table, her professional calm unshaken. Alexander didn't even look up from his phone as she approached. Isabella paused beside the table. "Good evening, gentlemen," she said softly, her voice professional yet warm. "Welcome to La Bella Luna. May I take your order?" One of Alexander's friends offered a polite smile, but Alexander merely glanced up for a fraction of a second, before returning to his screen. In Italian, he muttered to his friends, his voice low but dripping with disdain, "She can wait. It's not like she has anything better to do." The others chuckled quietly. Isabella didn't flinch. She stood there, her smile unwavering, as if she hadn't heard. But she had. She understood every single word. And right there, in that moment of quiet condescension, their story began. the story of an arrogant man who thought he was untouchable, and the quiet young woman who was about to teach him a lesson he would never, ever forget.